What's up, you guys? Welcome back to Business Buzz, where we focus on business, entrepreneurship, and you guessed it, investing. Today, we're going to be talking about the 5 cheapest cities to live in the US of A. We noticed that the vast majority of our audience is pretty young, between the ages of 18 and 34 years old. So this is honestly a great video for those of you guys who may be moving out or looking for a new city to live in. This is also great for those of you guys who don't want to live in a majorly expensive city like New York or Los Angeles, where rent can be around $3,500 a month for like a bad apartment. Now, in this list, we're going to be including cities that we consider, still nice to live in. Yeah, they're cheap, but we're not going to include like bad cities that are obviously cheap to live in. We're going to include nice cities that are affordable. So guys, before we get into it, make sure you guys go down, hit that subscribe button. We are getting close to 700. It'd be really appreciated if you guys helped us get there. Let's get into it. Number 1, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Fort Wayne is a pretty large city in Indiana with a population hovering around 270,000 people. For some things to do there, there's a great children's zoo, a museum of art, and there's even a large botanical center for all of you flower lovers out there. I know there are just tons of you. The overall cost of living in Fort Wayne, Indiana is around 79% of the total average for the cost of living in the whole country. Housing is specifically very cheap in Fort Wayne. In fact, houses cost around 58% of what they do around the country. Attached is a photo of the by-bedroom rent for the entire city of Fort Wayne. Indiana is by itself a very cheap state to live in, but Fort Wayne specifically is cheaper than the average of the state. Number 2, McAllen, Texas. Population is about 143,000 people in this city. So they say everything's bigger in Texas, but this city is not bigger than Fort Wayne. But while it is not known as well, it is very cheap to live in. According to Forbes, McAllen is actually the 3rd best city in the whole country for job growth at 3.9%. So not only is it very affordable, but there's going to be a lot of new jobs opening up there. It's just a great city to live in right now. The Quinta Mazatlan, hopefully I am pronouncing that right, is a beautiful estate in the city with some beautiful birds and some great agriculture to just really look at and take in. Their Museum of Art and Science and Butterfly Center are 2 other huge attractions in the city, so they seem to just love nature there. Also, I just know that everybody who watches our channel is just a huge butterfly enthusiast, so you're gonna love the city. The overall cost of living in McAllen is actually 78% of the national average, a little bit lower than Fort Wayne even. Housing is also probably their cheapest part of living in the city. Again, their housing is around 58.3% the national average. Numero 3, Topeka, Kansas. The population is 126,000, and it is actually the state capital of Kansas. They're also not far from Kansas City and Wichita as well, so you're not too far if you want to give them a visit. Another awesome thing about Topeka, Kansas, they will pay you to live there. That's right. They're having problems with the population right now, so they are going to pay you to live there. $15,000 if you buy a house, and $10,000 if you even rent an apartment. So definitely a big incentive to go live there. So Kansas isn't generally the state that comes to mind when you think of just, a fun place to live, but there are some great things to do there, and I will listen. They, of course, have Lake Shawnee. It's beautiful. They have the Topeka Zoo, of course, and they are home to the Brown versus Board of Education building. It's a very famous civil rights case. The overall cost of living there is about 79% the national average, and the housing is just 48% of the national average. Pair that with the money that you'll be getting for moving there. Awesome. Number 4 would bring you to Toledo, Ohio, my home state. The population of Toledo is around 275,000 people, and they are of course known as the Glass City because the glass industry is just huge there. They're also not too far away from Cleveland, Ohio, the greatest city on the planet. Also, Toledoans are known as being very nice people. In Toledo, they of course have the Toledo Zoo, the Toledo Museum of Art, and the Hollywood Casino, which is just a huge attraction there. The average cost of living in Toledo is about 72% of the national average, and their housing, brace for it, is 28% the national average. Dirt cheap real estate. It's free real estate. Now, to be honest, I haven't done loads of research on why the real estate is so darn cheap in Toledo, but if you do some due diligence and research on some real estate, maybe you could find some great deals there to invest in some real estate. They are also very close to two universities. One is Toledo University and another is Bowling Green University, two generally cheaper colleges that are pretty good. Number 5, last but not least, Albuquerque, New Mexico. They are the biggest city on our list with a population of 560,000 people, and they are actually the home city of the setting of Breaking Bad, my personal favorite show of all time. They are really the hub of the Southwest. Over 32 million people live within an 800-mile radius of it. Now let's talk about some things to do in Albuquerque. They have the Sandia Peak Tramway, which is a 3-mile tram ride up a mountain. They also have national monuments, museums, aquariums, and zoos. It's a very fun place to be. The cost of living is 90% of the USA average, so it is the most expensive on our list, but it's still pretty affordable. Their housing runs at about 88% of the national average, but their healthcare runs around 80% of the national average. Pretty cheap healthcare in Albuquerque. They are also home to the University of New Mexico if you're looking to get a degree. Guys, that about wraps up this Business Buzz video. I really hope you took something of value. Please go down and give us some ideas in the comments for new videos. Click that like button for us. Just scroll down, click it, the like button, make it blue, hit the subscribe button, and we will see you guys in the next Business Buzz video.